So, it's been a while since I've done one of these videos. This is the Liberty Cry to call out and cry out to the Trump regime's illegal and unlawful laws and regulations that have been put upon us. So, what has been going on in this month? Well, a few things. Now, I'm not going to get to everything that he's done in the month, but I can name a few. One in particular was when he made that threat against Iran, which we are still at war with, his war of choice. It is absolutely insane to me that we are still in this war that no one asked for. He did not ask Congress. He certainly didn't ask the people and did not explain it. He just, poof, did it. He just did it. Like, no. And yet, he has 13 of our people killed, 13 service members killed, and hundreds wounded because of it. And yet, this is absolutely insane. That is illegal by all stretch of the word right there. By this week, actually. So, by that, if he does not explain himself, or by that, they could try to extend it, the Republican House and Senate could try, but I doubt it. They're getting antsy right now. So a big thing that is happening not too long ago was when he made a threat to them, and he threatened them to obliterate them, which they are 90 million people and a civilization off the face of this earth, and praised. He took the word of God in another language, which is Allah, is for Islam's name for God, and praising him of that, which is absolutely to the point of blasphemy. Not to the point, it is absolutely blasphemous that he took the Lord's name in vain. He just shattered that commandment right there. And it's absolutely mind-boggling that nobody in the Republican Party that are so-called Christians are not calling this out. We're calling it out because we're real Christians, while the others are not. Now, we all know what Christian nationalism is. It is a rigid doctrine that they believe that Jesus was white. They believe that he is the way and no one else other than him, in a rigid doctrine. So no, we will not call them that. They're pretty much white nationalists, unfortunately, because of that, but they are a religious nationalist. I will say they just take the religion and just twist it in their own sense for warmongering and fear, that if no one follows what we believe in, damn them to hell. Well, unfortunately, they're not following the words in red by Jesus. So how's that? So where's that at? Nowhere in the Bible or any form of the Quran or Torah of the other three other big religions says that Jesus was a peace. He marveled at those who keep the peace, which is one of the blessed are the peacemakers that are in the words in red, and what he said. And why am I talking about religion, not just about the war? Well, here comes the second one. The second one is what he did next. He has gone to a war of words with the sitting Pope Leo the 14th. Yeah, let that sink in for a minute. Like, wait, what? Yes, I said that right. He is going to war with the Pope. And it is absolutely insane. And a good job for the Pope Leo to, not so subtly, but very respectfully, if you read between the lines, to clap back to call out the absolute hypocrisy of it all that the Trump regime has done. My mind just goes a million miles a minute, so I can't talk straight. So that's what's been going on. And that has just been insane. And at least with Leo, he is sticking to being the good shepherd. He is staying on message, staying on point for this, which is a good thing. And I can't believe a actual sitting president is going up against the Pope of pretty much one of the biggest congregates in the world, 1.2 billion Catholics in the world. That is absolutely blasphemous, downright insane, and immoral on his part, and no one's calling him out. Not the Republicans. We on the far left are still calling him out, calling this absolutely what it is, a fascist regime. And a lot of people... Now, this week, there's been a lot going on this week, actually. So what happened after a while? Well, after that, there's been a lot of protests. The No Kings was one, and another one is coming up in the May 1st, known as May Day, to stop anybody from buying anything, to go into grocery stores, department stores, to not buy anything. A boycott, a national boycott, as it is called. Unfortunately, I can't go to those, but I will. For those who are, good work. Keep up the cause and fight the good fight and stay out of trouble and stick to the First Amendment. Peacefully protest to air our grievances to the government. So another thing that is happening, that was the second, was now. Well, here's the third one, and that third one was none other than there was another assassination attempt on Trump again. This is getting out of hand, and it was during the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which is the whole news media outlets of those who pretty much are in D.C. and cover the White House have a correspondence, which is a separate organization, independent from the White House itself. They don't do it at the White House. That would be absolutely immoral and just wrong on so many levels. This dinner was to celebrate the First Amendment, while the president is the guest. He's not the special guest. He's nothing else. He's just a guest. Nothing more, nothing less, to keep him humble, to keep a president humble, which is a good thing. But unfortunately, that didn't quite go down that way. Unfortunately, it looks like somebody was able to not unsuccessfully try to assassinate him. He was captured by the Secret Service and police, which they did a good job. But unfortunately, the security was so lax. Unfortunately, it's a marvel that he got past, or he ran past him. If you watch, there's the videos on that, and I would recommend go watching them. You can see it for yourself. But when you see something like that, it says, okay, they did their jobs, but wait a minute. Why did this happen? This should not have happened. This is insane. And now, because now there were gunshots. One, and the Secret Service was shot at, but was protected by his protective armor he was wearing. So he's fine. Probably is going to have a nasty bruise about the size of a baseball. Probably. Thank God for that. But because of this, it is absolutely imperative that we condemn this. We condemn all forms of political violence. It's not okay. This is not right. And because Trump actually 30 minutes later talked about it, tried to stay on message, unfortunately, he tried to unify us. Shocker. But unfortunately, again, he didn't stay on message. He just clapped back and said, well, this is what happens. We need to build my ballroom. Yeah, we need to build his ballroom. That's going to cost, and the taxpayers has to pay $400 million. Okay, this is just getting absolutely nowhere. And it is absolutely insane that he said that. Nobody in their right mind would do such a thing. Nobody would pay $400 million. They wanted him to, well, which is an irony, they wanted cheaper eggs, they wanted cheaper grocery prices, cheaper gas, cheaper insurance, cheaper health, and yet, here, this is what you get. This is a retribution campaign, no matter how you look at it. Even if you call, like, oh no, don't be hyperbolic. Unfortunately, we're not. And unfortunately, they keep blaming the left, which I'm a part of. oh, the left is being mean. They're being hyperbolic. They're using inflammatory words. Really? Really? We've been calling you out, calling it out like we see it, calling it balls and strikes. It is absolutely insanity. Because of this, it is the radical right that has been calling this. It has been calling us the demon, the enemy from within, the radical left lunatics. Well, unfortunately, they need to look in the mirror and knock it off. Because, as of this late, Democrats have been actually on the march. Because they have actuality called this bluff out for redistricting. They have been fighting hard, punching back. Now, I get it. Some might say, well, Democrats normally don't do this. Well, no, unfortunately, they don't. They were forced into this. They didn't have a choice. So now, here we are. So this is with Democrats with a spine. And that's been what's been going on for the last month. So it's been absolutely insane, especially the one with the Pope of all things. So what do we do now? Well, as of this week, the Supreme Court just made a blunder for the Voting Rights Act. Now it's up to us as citizens to vote, keep the vote. That is our power now, and it is to make it sure that it's the law of the land. So that is what we do as citizens. We vote them out. That is our power. That is what John Lewis said. It is our greatest power, and we have to continue that. So to end this, we have to wait till the midterms, call them out, keep going, and protest and air our grievances, and just pray to all the saints and to the Lord above and Jesus to give us strength, give us purpose, and to make sure that no evils get in our way when we are doing the good work, not just for us as citizens, but to continue to help those who are in need within our countries and outside. And the final note, King Charles came for a visit, and if you watched his speech, I will say he would done his mother proud. The speech was excellent. He called him out in a nice way, sort of rhetorically, as him being king and as a monarch, and how democracy must be upheld together, not alone, not through isolations, but together. That is what he said. So, hope you all enjoy this video. Subscribe, and leave a comment if you listen. Like I said, I don't do this often, but I try to do as much as I can when I have time. So, thank you for watching. Keep up the good work. Stay loud, stay proud. Keep your ears to the ground. You all have a nice evening, a nice day. Bye.